welcome to Check It Out. We are here today with Jenny Meyer. Jenny is our Children's Services Coordinator at the St. Tammany Parish Library, and we're going to talk about, we're going to give you a little sneak peek about our summer reading program that's coming up. So thank you, Jenny, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So this is exciting. First, let's talk about what's the theme this year. Every year there's a theme. So what's the theme this year?
So this year's theme is super exciting because who doesn't love the beach and the ocean during the summer? So
Right.
The theme is Oceans of Possibilities. And as you can tell, we are very, very excited. And we have all kinds of good things planned, but also just lots of great books about sharks and narwhals and the ocean and the beach. It's going to be so much fun.
So let's talk about the summer reading program. For people who haven't done it before, it's for everyone. It's not just for children. It's for children, teens, tweens, adults. It's for everyone. So kind of give an overview of why someone would even, be a part of it.
So for summer reading, of course, we have people who just love reading, and so this is kind of a nice reward during the summer that they get to participate in something, and of course we have prizes.
Right.
But it's also meant to combat the summer slide for kids. And so during the summer, when kids are out of school, they tend to regress a little bit with their skills. So if they read during the summer, it's been proven that, when they get back to school, they'll do better. So we're really trying to encourage that. And so by encouraging everybody to participate, it's great because if grandparents want to read to their grandchildren, they both are participating. The same thing with parents. So it's a really great way for everybody to just encourage reading for everyone.
And it doesn't matter what you read. You can read books, you can read magazines, you can listen to an audiobook. It all counts as reading.
It all counts as reading. Graphic novels count. Everything counts. We don't care. We just want you to read. The newspaper counts. If you like to read the newspaper every day, that can count for reading because we're counting for minutes. So you're going to read for 720 minutes, which sounds like a lot, but it's only 12 hours. So it's not really that much, but it's a goal. And that way everybody will read every day or hopefully, or a little bit every day, 15 minutes a day, and you'll be done before summer reading's over with.
So traditionally, summer reading doesn't kick off until May, but we're giving you a little sneak peek because we want you to save some important dates. So the actual kickoff day when you can register for summer reading and start logging your minutes is
May 20th, which is the last day of school. So it's kind of a pinnacle day.
Yeah, it's pinnacle day. Let's talk about how people go about registering because there's a couple ways to do it. It's really easy. Again, it's not till May 20th, so we won't have everything ready for you till then, but we want you to save the date and be ready.
So there are really two ways that you can do it. If you like to do analog, where you're not really online, we have reading logs. And so this is the children's reading log, and you just log the minutes, and then you can come in when you're done, and you can redeem it for your prize. We also have a sign-up prize, which is a beach ball, so that'll be also very exciting.
That sounds fun.
Or we have a program called Beanstack. It's the same program we had last year that you can sign up for Beanstack, and then on the 20th you can register for summer reading. So if you want to get familiar with Beanstack, you can do that right now because that has reading challenges all year long, and then you can kind of be familiar with it and make your account, make a family account if you have kids, and then on the 20th, then it'll show up on your account that you can register for summer reading. So it'll be right there for you. You don't have to go searching for it.
Fun. And we also have a kickoff event. Now the kickoff event is the very next day after summer reading opens. It's May 21st. So let's talk about that a little bit.
So it's going to be very exciting. So on the 20th, you can come to the library and register for summer reading, get your prize. But on the 21st, everybody can head over to Madisonville, and we are going to have a full day of everything ocean activities. It's going to be great, and the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries is going to be out there, and they're helping us put it on, and we're going to have so much cool stuff. We're going to have fish prints, we're going to have casting where you can learn how to cast a fishing rod, which Miss Jenny is going to have to do because I don't know how, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So there'll be stuff for every age group. Everybody in the family can participate, and we're going to have a good time.
Great. And then throughout the summer, especially with the children's department, and what ages does that necessarily cover?
So it's birth through age 12, and so what you're going to do is you got to kind of like look and see what you want to do during the summer, but we have 6 weeks of programming, And pretty much every day of the week, there's going to be something in some library in the system for you to do.
Well,
and
great.
that even includes Saturdays. And we're starting this summer, which is very exciting. Thursday nights are going to be family programming at all the big branches.
Great.
So it'll be very exciting that there'll be family events that if you work, you can come after work with your kids and you can do something.
And the big branches are Causeway, Covington, Slidell, South Slidell, Mandeville, and Madisonville. Those are our 6 large branches, which will have the family programming on Thursday nights.
Yes.
Now, we know that our community loves story time. So spring story time is wrapping up, but when we start the summer reading, we're going to have some story time options, but you and I were talking earlier about virtual story time. So let's talk about that.
So we currently have a virtual on-demand story time that's happening all the time. And what we're going to do is Storytime has ended, but we're going to have a sneak peek by giving you the greatest hits of all the virtual story times we've done. So it's going to be very exciting. It's kind of going to be a countdown. So you can go to our website and go to our events calendar and register for it. And once you're registered for it once, you're registered for the whole time, and you'll even be registered for the virtual summer reading too.
Okay, so tell people how, so you can just kind of watch it anytime?
Anytime. It doesn't matter if you want to do it when your kids are going to bed, you want to show them a story, or in the middle of the day at lunch you want to put it on, there'll be a story time for them.
Great.
That's very
now,
exciting.
There's another thing that we do with children's, and it's very, very popular, and it's something that is really conducive to our community because we have such beautiful outdoor spaces. You do something called a story walk.
Yes.
So can you just kind of tell people what a story walk is, and what are the benefits of doing a story walk for anybody?
Yes. So a story walk really is for everybody. It's not just for little kids. So basically what happens is we take a book like this and we take it apart and we put it on very big signs and we put it up someplace. So outside a branch, we have a partnership with North Lake Nature Center we use. And so we put it up, and then you get to take a walk and enjoy the outdoors when it's convenient for you and read the story. And then there's cute little actions that you can do with your kids and when you go from place to place, but it's also a way for you to engage and talk about the story and talk about what's happening in the book in a different way. And so it's very exciting, but during the summer we do it so much that it's kind of fun to see where it will be next. You see where the story will be next, because it'll be all over the parish, including its small branches.
And it combines literacy with physical fitness, you know, getting outside.
Yes, it
and
does
moving
and enjoying the book in a way that when you're inside, you can't really be as loud and skip around when you get excited about a story and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's very fun.
So real quick, let's touch on a couple of early literacy programs or databases that people can do online from home before summer reading, after summer reading, during summer reading. So we have at least 3 that I'm aware of, but can you tell people about our newest one, Weston Woods, a little bit?
Yes. So Weston Woods is a company that's been around for a very long time, and we actually have the DVDs in the branches. But what we did this year, we purchased the online platform. So on demand right now, people can go and they can watch, which is really just the book slightly animated. They can watch the book being told to them.
Yeah.
And so they have all different kinds of books, but there are a lot of award winners. There's a lot of Eric Carle on there. There's other authors like Mo Willems is on there. And it just gives it a little bit of a movement so that it keeps the attention span, but you can elect to turn on the captions so the words will be there for you to follow along. So it's really kind of nice. And then another one we have is Tumblebooks, which does very much the same thing. And so that has all ages. That doesn't just have picture books. It has chapter books in there that you can use, but it's on demand. So both of those are available all the time. You don't have to check them out. They're never going to be out and you have to put a hold. It's always available, which is great. And then the last thing we have is Miss Humblebees, which is a really great early literacy program that has absolutely everything you could think of. It has games, it has sight words, it has just fun things you can color and hand-eye coordination activities. It really is an all-encompassing, and you can make an account and track progress, or you can just go on and do it for fun whenever you want. You don't have to make the account.
Good. So we just want to remind people that summer reading kickoff, the kickoff party is May 21st, but you can register for summer reading beginning May 20th, and you can do that online through our Beanstack app, or you can come into any one of the 12 branch locations May 20th, and we'll be able to help you sign up for that. So we want you to save the date. And we always do a little friendly challenge. We hope that the community reads X number of minutes. We're not going to tell you about those. We'll tell you about those in May. We'll tell you what our goal is in May.
Because last year, it was just a couple weeks in and y'all blew it out of the water. So we're going to make it tougher this year.
That's right.
So, but we will have 10 weeks where you can do the reading, and we'll have 6 weeks of programming, and we're very excited. So May 20th, come out and see us.
Okay, great. So you can find all of this information. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you can also join us at sttamanylibrary.org. So thank you very much. We'll be right back.
When America's playground, New Orleans, Louisiana, wants to go out and play, where does it go? Full steam ahead to the North Shore of Lake Pontchartrain. What the Big Easy has known for more than a century about the North Shore is that there's a whole other world on the other side. The outside world. A place to play.
Oh, look at him. He's on a roll, baby.
A place to commune with nature.
Where is the Honey Island Swamp Monster?
Out there.
It's just out there.
He's somewhere out there.
A place to feel the wind in your hair and the sun on your face.
On the water, everybody's friendly. When they wave, they use the entire hand.
Going outside on the North Shore means getting wild.
All right, Mike, get set, go. Okay, start running. Serpentine, serpentine. Now come back, serpentine, serpentine.
Outside means getting some major air. And some serious downtime. The North Shore of Lake Pontchartrain has a history of adventure and a tradition of doing things differently. And today, St. Tammany Parish is still its own place, unlike any other. Historically speaking, the reason it became the hip place to escape to in the 19th century is still the reason why people come today. Nature. Healing and exhilarating nature. Adventure can be found in the hundreds of miles of waterways and more than 80,000 acres of wildlife refuge. In fact, the only thing you can escape on the North Shore is adventure. Because here, adventure is calling.
Welcome back to Check It Out. We're here now with Byron Holdeman, and he is our genealogy librarian at the Covington branch location. And he is new to the St. Tammany Parish Library, so we want to welcome you to the library and the community.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about how you kind of got into becoming a genealogy librarian in the first place.
I started getting interested in genealogy. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. I loved listening to their stories.
Right.
And then in high school, my grandmother's aunt was in her late 90s, and she moved right across from our high school. And I would go and listen to her every week, tell her about stories of growing up in Missouri back in the horse and buggy days.
Right.
And I just thought that was so intriguing. And then I went to college, and I took a genealogy class, and as genealogy people say, I was bitten by the bug.
And that's, true of a lot of people. Once they start digging into their family history, they can't stop. They get, so intrigued by it. So you moved here recently from, tell us where you moved from.
I moved from Quincy, Illinois, where I was one of the reference librarians at Quincy University.
And you have deep sort of connections to genealogy groups around the country. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I just came from the local society in Quincy. I was the president of the society, but I'm also on the state genealogy board for the Illinois State Genealogical Society.
So tell us about what you found in our community in St. Tammany about the kind of genealogical community here, because as I understand it, it's very robust.
Yeah, we have a very active local genealogical society, St. Tammany Genealogical Society. That, they are very excited about genealogy. We also have some DAR groups, Daughters of the American Revolution groups,
Right.
And Sons of the American Revolution groups. That again are very excited about genealogy. So
Because to be a member of those groups, you have to establish a connection, correct?
yeah, and you have to prove with primary sources, historical documents,
Right.
your lineage all the way back to somebody who served in the Revolution.
And when you you also, we have the groups, but you also see individuals that come in, correct?
Right. And is a big range those who are trying to prove their lineage, but also those who are just getting started.
Right, right.
Especially with DNA testing, which I've done a lot of work with DNA testing there as
Yeah.
well. But people are interested in who are they? Where did they come from?
Right.
And DNA can tell you a little bit. But combining that with research, you can actually go back, see the documents of your family, see the struggles they went through, see the successes.
So how, if someone were to come to you and say, okay, I'm ready to start tracing my family tree, what is your role in that journey? How would you get them kind of started to do that?
So getting started, find out what the person knows. Most people know who their parents are, some don't, and we can even help with that. Grandparents, great-grandparents, you start
Yeah.
losing some of the information. And so we just find out how much you know, and then from that, we have materials in the library as well as databases online that I can help the person start delving into their family.
So you kind of just kind of give them a little kickstart and show them where to go from there.
Yeah, and some of these databases, they're easy to use, but you're trying to find that needle in a haystack. And I have the experience and training to be able to help locate that needle in the haystack.
And tell me about, and everyone else, tell us about some of the things that are, particularly at the Covington Branch location, some of the things that are right there in that genealogy area, that the tools that they can kind of get their hands on to use.
We have lots of indexes that will lead to original sources. The Catholic Church, the diocese around Louisiana, we have lots of books. They're called Hay Bear books that can really look into your family. We have Looking for Bears. They are marriage indexes that
Interesting.
are throughout the parishes. As well as a lot of other resources that people have put together about the history of the area that is really going to be helpful for doing your genealogy. And then we have several databases. Some you have to come to the library and use, but some of them you can actually use from home.
Okay.
And
So what are some examples of those?
So Heritage Quest is one that you can use from home. The newspapers, we have a couple of newspaper databases, Newsbank and Newspaper Archives, that you can look at local newspapers and find your family in those.
We actually have Times Picayune from the first issue up until the present day.
Yeah.
Currently.
And that's one that's available all the way through. St. Tammany Farmer is available to 1922.
Okay.
So if you're looking for something recently, we had the microfilm, or
Okay.
the microfiche.
The old-fashioned way.
And you can look through those. But if you get back to 1922 and before, that's something you can do from home.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So what are some interesting, some of the interesting things that you've kind of gone down a road and been like, oh, wow, I can't believe, we discovered this?
One recently that we had a patron come in looking for his, both Italian and Scottish. And now we didn't have the information there at St. Tammany, but I did find a library that had a copy of the book he needed of his family in Italy. I contacted that library and they copied the page he needed, and we were able to get that for him.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Another with the same person on his Scottish side, he had found in Ancestry the index of his family in Scotland. But I was able to take him a step further, and we actually got into the original record, and he saw the original pages of when his family were married and christened.
That is awesome.
Scotland.
That's amazing too. That's something that really significant to share with your family too.
Yeah.
it's really significant.
And to realize that that was written at the time.
Right. That is,
Yeah.
you know, when you see those documents, especially handwritten, some of
Yeah.
them are handwritten,
Yeah.
many of them. So that's really, you know, a historic moment for your family. So if someone wanted to come and see you, would they just walk in and see you? Would you prefer that they make an appointment? How do you like to handle that?
They can walk in, and that's fine. If you make an appointment, I can reserve that time. And so walking in, other people may be in.
Right.
And so I'm helping 3-4 people at a time. But if they contact me and make an appointment, then that half-hour, 1-hour slot that we schedule is going to be their time.
It's all theirs.
Yeah.
So you do have some programs that you run also. The programs that are coming up in May. Let's talk about a couple of the ones that are coming up in May. We talked about one that's coming up May 12th at the Covington branch from 6:30 to 7:30. Can you talk a little bit about that one?
Yeah, that's Ancestry.com Beyond the Leaf. If you've gone into Ancestry, then you can see that when you put in your pedigree chart, it has little leaves and it'll give you hints. Well, there's so much deeper items in Ancestry, and so I'm going to show how to get into that deeper stuff beyond just what the hints that it gives. Ancestry.com is available for free at any of the branches.
Okay.
So you can go to any of the branches and use it. If you come to Covington, I can help along with it. But this session actually will take you into how to get into Ancestry, how to do some of these deeper searches to find your family.
Okay. And then we also have another event that's coming up. We talked about that one on May 21st. And that's about the 1950 U.S. Census. So we were kind of talking about what's the significance of that? Why would someone be interested in that? So talk a little bit about that, because that is very, very interesting.
For 72 years, the census is closed. So we just had a census in 2020. That's not going to be available to look at till 2092.
Wow.
So the 1950 census just came open April 1st. And the genealogy community was excited. I attended an online meeting where people are talking about having slumber parties on April 1st. The one thing, though, with it just coming out is it hasn't been indexed yet. So there is a preliminary index that the National Archives has done that was done by computer. Family Search, Ancestry, and MyHeritage is working together to create a full index of that census.
And that would just make it a little more user-friendly.
And that will make it a lot easier. Their thing is going to be 3 to 4 months for that to take place. And so we can actually participate in that. So if you can look at your family in 1950, there's lots of great information in the census. Find out more about the family. And so I'll show you what we can do for searching right now, but also how we can help to index that census so that information can be available.
Okay, well that sounds like very, very interesting. Very, very in-depth and meaty kind of topics we're talking about here, and I think that it's going to reach a very wide audience. So again, we want to welcome you, Byron, to Louisiana, and we hope you're enjoying it here, because we are definitely enjoying having you. And if you need to get in touch with Byron, you can find his information on our website, sttammanylibrary.org. You can search any of the databases that he is talking about at the online library, which is also on our website. And again, he is at the Covington branch location. If anyone needs to get in touch with Byron and make an appointment and start looking at your family tree. So thank you so much for coming here today and talking to us about this. And we look forward to hearing more about it and from you in the future.
All right, thank you for having me.
Great. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time on Check It Out.